Today's recipe is pot fried cabbage. Cabbage fried in bacon grease in a pot, so it's not really fried like a frying pan. Warning, this recipe erroneously discovered uses too much bacon grease. Cut the recipe down to 1/4 to 1/2 cup of bacon grease because although it tasted good, it was a little heavy. And in my case of not enough of a serving, it was way too much. It also requires a reduction in the Instapot time for cooking in order to have bigger bits of cabbage, which I like. My voice still does not project, so I will attempt to close captioning again. I do, however, enjoy making these videos, so even if I fumble butt around a bit, it's fun. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Okay, I've had people yell at me about my use of knives, so I thought I'd use this one today. It's probably a little safer because it's made out of plastic. So you all can quit being nervous over my use of a knife for doing this. Just joking, actually. I'm going to fix this where you can't see me in a minute. Fix the camera because I'm shy. And I don't want you to see me cry if I do take off one of my fingers. So, okay, so I didn't have to stop. Can't see anything. So, what I'm making today is just going to be a simple kind of fried / steamed cabbage. And I'm going to use the Instapot, and I'm going to use bacon grease. I bought this online. Cabbage. Now a lot of people, I guess, don't put the onion in their cabbage, in their fried cabbage. I have to have onion. And then I'm going to dice up some ham and throw that in toward the end of the cooking. But anyways, let me get this started. And everybody's yelling about how I cut my food, so I'll do it their way. In other words, cut it so I have a flat side down. That way people can quit yelling at me. And I'll just slice it up. I will core it. I'm gonna start this pot so I can put my bacon fat in there, bacon grease. And yes, I will cut it up a little smaller. I don't know why, other than I just thought about it. I'm going to go ahead and put my bacon grease in the pot so it can be heating up. And I'll probably put 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup in there. grab a little bigger spoon. I've seen some people use, I don't know how they can put water in bacon grease, but maybe it's just the moisture out of the cabbage. So that's a little more than half of the tub, and I think that'll work well. I was reading about bacon grease versus lard, and so it said that bacon grease has more flavor. So I want to go more with the flavor. Put this back in the refrigerator. And
Mr. Rivas said to say hi to you.
that's all right. That's my better half in here, the one who told me I had to use a different knife. Of course, like any husband, I don't listen. Oh, it sure smells like bacon grease. And it's getting up to temperature. May not have to put the ham in there, but I think I will anyway. So it's getting up the temperature. And I know some of you don't like the way I slice onions either, but that's all right. So far I still have all 10 of my fingers, well, 9.5 fingers. Kidding, actually. I love peeling onions. They don't like me. I would talk while I'm doing this, but some people have told me that I should keep my mouth shut, because nobody can hear me anyway. Actually, I haven't had that many views on any of these. I'm just trying to keep the dead air space from getting into it. And frankly, I don't care if people view these or not. I'm having fun doing them. Got enough of the skin off it. Alright, flat side down so I can slice it. Now, more flat side down. This way my sister-in-law can see that I can do this without too much danger to myself or anybody else. She doesn't understand it. I have difficulty slicing this stuff because my hands shake so much. And isn't that part of the fun? Wondering when the stuff's going to start turning red around it. Of course, nobody likes my sense of humor either. Okay. You can hear the bacon grease sizzling away, probably better than you can hear me talk. I've got this on saute because I'm just going to let it saute in there. Oh, I see a piece of cabbage I want to eat. Got to drop at least one thing on the floor. There we go. So a little salt on this. Oh yeah, so far it's cooking that well. Stir it up in the bacon grease. So it's covered somewhat. If you know what raw cabbage looks like in the bacon grease. I'll be back. I'm going to put a little sea salt in this, about a teaspoon. It's stronger than regular salt, table salt, so I don't want to overdo. And I'll put some black pepper in it. About 3/4 of a teaspoon. And according to a recipe I saw this morning, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar. I don't normally like to add sugar to anything, but it looked like it would be pretty good. And I'll just stir that up. I think that's going to be pretty good. I'm gonna, instead of using instead of just frying it or in that pot, I'm going to pressure cook it for a while I'm cutting the meat up. I don't know, probably for about 15 minutes, because after I dice some of this meat up, I want to cook it for another 10 minutes at least. That way it heats the meat up in it. It's cooked ham, so it doesn't have to be cooked as far as the ham. I like the Hormel ham myself, canned ham. There's just two of us here, so I don't we don't do a big ham or anything. See, not one finger in the bunch. Yet, anyway. I just kind of dice the ham up. This is probably about the equivalent of 1 cup of ham. But as I said before, there are only 2 of us that get to eat this. So, but I do like it warmed over the next day. So, yeah, that's about a cup. And it'll be ready for me to add to that. In about 14 minutes. But now I'm going to do the one thing that I keep reminding you men to do out there. Of course, if I can be gender specific like that. Make sure you clean up so you don't get killed. So I'm going to go ahead and do up some of these dishes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. I'm releasing the last of the steam pressure so I can add the ham chunks. What few ham chunks I have left. Because I've been munching. No lunch today. But there's still plenty. Oh yeah. That's certainly a lot better than leaving it cook for a couple hours. Going to be a little greasy, but I'll turn the heat on and let it cook off a little bit. Like making a ham stew. Stir this up in there. And then I'm going to put put it on saute for about 15 minutes. To let some of that moisture burn off. So I'm going to go back and finish up these dishes. So I'll be back in a minute. Well, this is done. I'll dig some out. There's show you what we got. And I could wish that you could have some. My bride tasted it a little while ago, and she said, "Yep, that bacon grease makes a difference." She says, "George, you're a Southern boy at heart." So, I'm going to go ahead and let you go while I get to eating this, and see you next time. And as Julia says, bon appetit. There you have it. I managed to get through this one again without poisoning anyone. You can also view the recipes on my website, www.oiccs.com, and click on George's video recipes page in the leftmost column on the page. I don't sell anything on my webpage, nor do I ask for any money for anything. Thank you for viewing.